Hi guys, welcome to Uriel Atlas. I'm Cordy, and today is April 8th of 2026. On the previous video, I went over, and that video was basically me doing a balancing that you guys could use on a daily basis in the morning time and before you go to bed. And in that video, I shared with you that I would come back in another video and explain to you how to do this for yourself. And this video today is me doing that. So here we go. The first things you want to do is I guess let me preface this by explaining a few things. There are energy centers. Hopefully most of you are aware of this. There are energy centers throughout the body. Some people have labeled these as chakras or other labels. But they have been depicted throughout time in many different places and texts and different things of a flower, and each chakra being a unique, having unique qualities of its own. These flowers have different quantities of flower petals coming off. Is how many traditions have depicted them, and there is a reason for this. And I know these teachings can go much deeper than I'm going to go today. However, this is one perspective of many different perspectives of the same understanding. So these petals actually are, among many other things, these petals are sine waves, which those of you who know anything about electricity, a sine wave is a common misconception is a sine wave goes like this, and that's false. A sine wave goes like this. Okay, it's a corkscrew, and these sine waves are getting phased down as the light down and up. Okay, so your heart is actually so one thing you need to know about me is what I'm trying to explain things. Any labels that I use are simply that. Please always do your best to look beneath the label at the underlying characteristics of a thing. And so as the heart chakra is actually some might call it a stargate, but it's your connection to Source, Heavenly Father, God. Whatever label resonates with you, use that, but know that you are not separate from something, from a consciousness that is in all places at all times. It is impossible for you to be separate from that. Separation is an illusion. So, your heart, we'll start with that. Now, these sine waves, so that it comes in through the heart, okay? And these sine waves, as you go down in the chakras, they reduce in quantities of petals, okay? As you go up above the heart, they increase and take on different quantities. Okay, for your energy, when I say and talk about there being blockages, Okay, you, your spinal fluid, and this is on the physical aspects of this, and there are higher dimensional energetic aspects that are the creation and representation of this. Your spinal fluid travels up and down, okay, and it's circular. That's why there's a symbol of the rod and the serpent with angel's wings, okay, at the very top. And that spiraling matrix is your masculine and feminine energies, which we all have both, okay, but some people are more masculine, some people are more feminine, but it is up to us to bring balance to that. Now, when you start off to balance yourself, okay, that I always start off with the actual heart, which is different from the heart chakra, okay? I always start with the actual heart and the threefold flame, or 3 sine waves, okay, or 3 petals in the secret chamber of your physical heart, okay? And I balance that first. That opens the doorway to the Einstein-Rosen bridge, gateway, stargate to source within you, the I am that I am, and the I am that you are, okay? The expression of God, the hand of God. And what is hand in Spanish? Manos, man, man, M-A-N, okay? Words have connections throughout everything, all right? So you are an expression of God. You are a part of the body of Christ, the hand, all right? You're an expression. You are a ray coming through the cloud in a unique form, in a unique format, unique qualities. And that ray is the light of the sun, the great central sun, the source of all that is, universal consciousness, okay? Omniscience, omniscience, all-knowingness. And that same quality is within you once you learn how to tap into it. Okay, so we start with the heart. When you saw me on that previous video, and I will put a link in the description below for you guys to go back and watch that if you have not seen that. But you may have noticed me snapping my fingers, okay, or saying things like Om or Z, a Z, Z or Z sound. Okay, these vibrations. That vibration is a pulse, okay? It's a pulse that's sent out. And what happens is these chakras, the petals get out of balance, all right? As you experience discord and you energize that discord by sending your energy out to a discordant thing, okay, which we all do. We came here to learn from these things and learn how to rebalance ourselves and to completely heal ourselves from that, which will be coming in another video. But to rebalance your chakras, when I snap my fingers and I hit Z, or I say Z or Om, that sound with intention, okay, and always be visualizing and feeling this. That sound I use with the intention and the visualization to snap those petals back into place to be perfectly even and balanced within the flower of that chakra, okay? Perfectly even and balanced petals. That way it brings back perfect harmony, and the flow can be expanded. You can have more flow going through something. It's like a tire on an automobile. Okay, a tire, we all know what a tire feels like when it's out of balance. You know, and it gets worse generally the faster you get. So and the more speed happens, okay? And like I said, the energy is a corkscrew with you. All right, your life force. So it's spinning. And when those signs, or some have called that sin, right? Sin, sign, these things are all connected. But we need to not be judgmental of any sin. We correct it lovingly with forgiveness. Okay? So this is just explaining to you how to correct that. Now, when you go through and you snap the fingers, zzz, I see those petals go, pulse going out, and those petals snapping into perfect harmonious place. And then there is a tube of light around you, okay, that when you're all totally balanced, that tube of light seals and is in perfect harmony. And when you're out of balance, there can be cracks and leaks and even not be present, okay, which leaves you vulnerable, okay, to discord infiltrating you and affecting you. So when you snap these petals into place, then I visualize and I feel, because I am that. When you realize you are not, when you come to the realization within yourself that you are not separate, you're not separate from these things, from all life. When you expand your aura out, it's a beautiful thing. But you are not separate from that. You feel this. Visualize on the physical heart. The threefold flame within the physical heart is the first one that I do. Okay, and this is not anything to where there's only one way to do this. Okay, I'm explaining to you how I do this and the reasoning behind it, so you can comprehend and take this and use whatever resonates with you to become the best and highest version of yourself. Okay, put your own energy and visualization and your own talents towards this. But you visualize a tube, okay? That threefold flame within the heart expands, and I visualize it in the color and frequency of, some of you may have seen the movie Thor, where they're traveling out on that Rosen Bridge to go in the colors of that. It's kind of a kaleidoscope of colors. I visualize that for the threefold flame, for the tube of light, the first one. So there's an inner tube, and then there, for each chakra, sequentially they get further out and expand your tube of light in a oneness. But the first one, I visualize that as kind of a kaleidoscope, because that is your Einstein-Rosen bridge. That is your connection to source, your stargate, your personal stargate. So I see that coming out of the heart, expanding and going down to the center of the earth and connecting, and then coming up, and then going up all the way into heaven. Whatever you visualize, heaven, into space, however you want to visualize that, okay? But connecting you to your higher self and covering you all the way around you like a big pipe. So that one is kaleidoscope colors. Now, okay. So first we do the physical, the threefold flame in the physical heart. Next, I go to the base chakra. Some people call it the root chakra. Okay, and this chakra, some people, I'm going to tell you what I do, because I prefer to visualize something in the qualities that I wish and want it to be manifested in. I seek for my root chakra to be purity, okay, white. So I visualize that root chakra, and some people may say red, and red is many times the actual color of most people's root chakra, but most people have not totally healed themselves completely from their traumas. Okay, I want to visualize the great me. I want to visualize and attempt to manifest the greatest and highest version. Okay, so that's my reasoning behind it. So the base or root chakra is 4 petals. Okay, so you can visualize 4 petals, and then you snap your fingers, see a white tube, go all the way to the center of the earth again, and then come back up. And that tube is a little bit outside of the heart, the threefold flame heart tube, Einstein-Rosen bridge. Okay. Next, we go to the sacral chakra. Okay, that is just it's above. It's between the base. It's just higher than the base, and it's between your stomach. It's kind of a little bit right around your belly button, but a little bit below it, and straight inward, a little bit in front of your spine. Okay. Now, that chakra is 6 petals. Okay, 6 sine waves. So I snap my fingers, bring those into perfect harmony and balance, and visualize that tube expanding out from that chakra as a magenta color, kind of a violet magenta, but more magenta. Which is like a kind of a purple pink, if you want to see it that way. But it's that tube goes outside of the one we just did at the base. Okay, and so that magenta goes straight down again to the center of the earth, comes back up. That's connecting your grounding to Mother Gaia, Mother Earth. And then, so each of the, when I go up, I'm actually connecting to the sun, which is light, the source of light. Okay, and there's a great central sun as well, but that's, it. So I connect Father and Mother, and I come in between them. So the source of light and the grounding of the Mother, positive and negative energy, meets and connects. Okay? We are improving and optimizing our flow of energy here. So you need to connect where you connect on a battery, the positive and negative terminals, right? That's what you're doing. This is energy. So you're bringing that up. Next is the solar plexus, okay? Solar plexus is in where your stomach is, okay? This chakra I visual has 10 petals. So we again snap your fingers or say zzz, and there's a lot of so-called again with the labels, but they're benders, people who are actually move and I don't like the word control, but they are becoming one with the elements, different elements, earth, water, fire, air, okay? And there are people moving air. You can, when you look for these things, you can find them. There's lots of videos out there of people doing it, very much so. And a lot of them will use these sounds, zzz, that zzz sound it has certain qualities of it that really penetrate it things, and put out your frequency, connect your frequency into it. So whatever resonates with you, okay, again. So solar plexus has 10 petals. Snap our fingers, balance those, and that chakra I visualize as violet fire. So the violet consuming flame. Violet fire is the highest frequency of most humans can see in the normal human spectrum of visual spectrum. So that violet fire is consuming flame. It's blue and pink. Some people think red, but no, pink, which is love, and blue is power. But it's the power of love, which transmutes discord. So go out further than the previous chakra and visualize your tube coming out and going down to, again, a violet fire tube going to the center of the planet, and then up to source, positive and negative, bring them together, connection. Now you have flow. Now, next is the heart, the actual heart chakra, which is different. You have your physical heart in the secret chamber of the threefold flame. Now you have on a more fifth density level is the chakra, is a non-physical energy center that is an energy intersection. But that chakra of the heart is right in the middle of the chest, and it has 12 petals. And I visualize this one as pink. Okay? So some people do green, that's fine. Whatever resonates with you, you be you. Always. That's my eternal goal, is to expand the light that is you. So, but we're going to snap our fingers again, or send out the pulse that balances those 12 petals in the heart chakra. Send those petals out and down to the center of the earth as a pink tube of light that's outside of the previous chakra, and then up to source. Positive and negative come together. Now we move to the higher heart. This is a beautiful chakra that some do not know about, but it's a beautiful chakra that really is an intense love. This chakra has 14 petals. Okay, it is just above the center of the chest. It's just above that, in between your throat and the center of your chest. Okay, straight inward in the middle of your body. This chakra has, again, 14 petals. You visualize those 14 petals, snap your fingers, but I visualize this as a oh goodness, what's the name of the color? Ruby red. Okay, I was going to say burgundy, but no, that's not it. Ruby. You visualize it as a beautiful ruby red, which is a really intense pink, a slight bit of purple in it. It's an intense love. That, then we expand it out and do your tube of light down to the center of the earth and back up. Again, sealing that tube of light around you and connecting to Source and Mother Earth. Next, we go to the throat chakra. This throat chakra has 16 petals. And a way to help you visualize 16 petals, and the same with all of the chakras, is I kind of split it into two. So I see 8 on one side and 8 on the other. That's a lot easier to visualize than thinking 16. Okay, so this may help you in the visualization of that. And the same with, you know, the higher heart is 14, so half of that is 7 and 7. So 7 on one side, which I see with 6 and 1. 6 and 1. That's easier for me to visualize that. And that's just how I do it. If it resonates with you, use it. So back to the throat chakra. Snap your fingers, or in the video that where I'm doing this for you, and please use and share with other people, that when I balanced that throat chakra, I used Om and Zzz. I used the pulses from my throat chakra itself with the visualization of the mind's eye. But so we use that. Now that throat chakra is a blue, and I'm trying to tell you the shade. It's a darker blue, kind of a indigo blue, but it's very powerful, very powerful. That's why you need to be very conscious of your self-speech, because the throat chakra, when you initiate it, you're sending vibrations into the physical realm. And that's physical manifestation of the frequencies that you speak through it. So, death and life can come from the spoken word. So be very careful and use it to your advantage, how you speak about yourself and others, to bless them. So 16 petals, snap it, go out with your indigo blue, go down to the center of the earth with your indigo blue tube of light, come up to the source, positive and negative. Om. Om. Next is we're going to describe it as activity of the beautiful center in the middle of your brain. And to give you a sense of feeling exactly where this center is, some have called it the third eye. It is. So if you, in the roof of your mouth, there's a hard palate, and then behind that is a soft palate of the roof of your mouth. This, you have a physical eye in your brain, inside your brain. You have a physical eye. And if you don't believe me, go look at an anatomy book of the brain. Okay, it's shaped in the eye of Horus. Some of you may have seen. That is just, it's got the stem coming down and curly cues. That's all part of the brain. They were showing you a picture of your own brain. Okay, we didn't we weren't shown the instruction manual to how to operate our body temples. But hey, this is how knowledge is spread. But it is an activity that's going on. It's really they operate in unity and oneness, but it's more unique than the other chakras. Okay. The first thing, during the other video, you see me turn like this because I go to the side if I'm working on someone, doing energy work to heal someone. I go to if that person is standing right here, facing this way, I go to the side of them and I use my pushing hand, and you can alternate the direction of your flows once you learn how to move your energy. But I use my pushing hand here, and my receiving or pulling hand here. And what I'm doing is I'm pushing right here. There's antenna on this one, okay? So there's antenna that actually is going inward to the back of your head, right below that little knot in your head. Goes up into your pineal gland, and it goes into your pineal gland and out like a unicorn, comes out here. And that's the direction of flow, is receiving from behind, receive here, and pushes out to the unicorn out and sends out that signal there. Now, at the center of that is a flower. It's an 8-petal flower. Goes around, and there's multiple flowers to do with the third eye. So they're all part of the same unit, okay? But I'm separating them out so you can visualize this when you're doing it. But this portion of that beautiful flower is 8 petals. In fact, they're all 8, each portion that would go about. But it goes up, receives here, and that you picture that flower as around that antenna at the center of the brain, rotating in this direction. If I'm going this way, it's rotating in that direction, clockwise, with the flow. So that clockwise, so you snap your fingers with those 8 petals, and the color of that is peridot green. It's a little bit more yellow than an emerald, let's say an emerald green, which we will be using next. So peridot green, and that goes right through your pineal gland, okay, and out through and you can visualize it as like a tube that's about that big around, okay, and coming out about to there and the same distance out the back on the receiving side of that tube antenna, okay. So you snap that into place, balance it, expand it, expand that tube of light out, because a lot of people, their antennas are not, they may be, depending on what's going on with them, where their imbalances are at, those antennas can be deformed. They can be like a glob on their head, or whatever the situation may be. They may not even be there at all. But what you want to do is form that into an antenna, okay? Next, we go to the hearing activity, okay? The hearing activity of the third eye, which this one goes this direction and has, again, 8 petals, spins this way, straight through here, about where your temples are at, okay? It's going out in this way. Visualize another, so you snap your fingers, balance those petals, and then visualize and feel. When I use the word visualize, you always realize I'm also indicating for you to feel that energy being there, because you are one with it. Visualize those antennae coming straight out the side and going in, and then that 8-petal portion of that flower is spinning clockwise with the direction of flow. So I'm receiving in my right hand side, it's coming in here and sending out messages there to be heard. Now, we move on to the third eye, so to speak, portion of the third eye, which the pineal gland is your timepiece. Okay, that's your connection to time and your relativity to it. All right, that's your time traveler. But discover that on your own. For now, let's just get everything balanced. Sorry, I get excited when I'm talking about this stuff. It's so beautiful. The third eye section, again, 8 petals, is the portion of that same. They're all part of one unit, right in the middle of your brain. Okay, and the first one goes like this. The next one goes like this. And they're all part of, it's going like this. And this one goes like this, and its 8 petals are going like this. So again, you got antenna, and the direction of flow is again from the back of the head. This one comes straight out right here. Right? A little bit above your eyebrows, but right about there. And it comes straight out. Okay? And that goes straight through basically your pituitary gland. Okay, so you balance those 8 petals, spin it clockwise with the flow. Next, and okay, I apologize. I forgot to mention the color. So the first one was peridot, right? The one going through your pineal gland, coming out your unicorn. Okay, that was peridot. All of the other ones I visualize as emerald green. Okay, the hearing one going through your temples, and your third eye coming out emerald green, which is a beautiful color. All colors are frequencies. Okay. How your TV works, shows you something. It operates on its digital colors, digital frequencies, and they have qualities. So next, so we did your third eye. Next is going to be one that is going to be part of that same flower, but that tube is goes straight down, basically right with your spine. Actually, doesn't go down, excuse me. It comes up, okay? So the direction of flow comes up, and it comes out straight out of the top of your head. And again, the direction of flow is clockwise facing the direction of flow, okay? And that energy comes up. But you can visualize the same size and shape of antenna with that one coming out the top and coming out the bottom, which is somewhere in straight into the middle of your body, starts there. Okay, you can push it, snap those 8 petals into place, and this one is again emerald green. Okay. Now once I have all of these balanced, and all of this harmoniously balanced, I'm being told to share with you that these are also phases. The sine waves, corkscrews, are phases of energy. Okay? And you can learn about that from an electrician. What do? They single phase, 2 phase, and 3 phase is usually all they deal with, unless there's scientists messing around with 6 and 12 phase or more. Okay. 12 phase is very beautiful and interesting. But each of those phases is a pulse of a sine wave. They're petals of a flower. Okay. Now, when you have 8, 8, 8, and 8, you have what? 32 petals. Okay? You have 32 petals on your third eye chakra. But they are not just positioned in a circular, because third eye deals with time and space and thought. Deals with all sorts of things. Once I have these balanced, then your flow of your phasic energy that's flowing throughout the body is more harmonious, and you can hold more light, which means your tube of light around you, which you should visualize as white, because white contains all of the colors. Okay? Once it's whole and complete. And once you have balanced everything, this tube of light is sealed, right? Because everything's harmonious. And it's sealed in and layered in with your Einstein-Rosen bridge, or your threefold flame in the heart, anchored in the middle. Friends, I hope this has helped you. Oh, forgot one thing. I remembered one thing. Once everything is balanced, take and feel the Kundalini energy, which is also the fluid of the spine. But the energy, the Kundalini energy, goes around the spine and then loops up. It's a circular motion. Okay? And this is the true symbol of infinity, not this. True symbol of infinity is the snake eating its own tail. It's a circle. It goes receiving and giving. Push and pull. Yin yang. Something else, when you take a yin yang sign, you turn that on, turn that flat, the two dots are the legs of a ladder of your DNA, and it's spinning. Beautiful things. Truth right in front of us. Okay? So, it's the push-pull. So, connect with your Kundalini. Once everything is balanced, connect with the Kundalini, or resurrection flame, as many have called it. But it's your creative energy. Feel it, connect with it, and I'm going to do it for you here now. You may have felt it through me doing it there, but I'm going to do it here for you. Feel that energy, and feel it going into your third eye. And that is a resurrection in the Christ consciousness. God bless you, my friends. I'm so glad you joined me today. If you found value in this, and please subscribe to the channel for more beautiful truth, and hit the like button for me. That'll help us out greatly. And feel free to donate. The channel is new, so I gotta figure out how to set that up, but it's coming. But please share this with whoever you feel would be receptive and maybe resonate with it, and it could bless. Have a blessed day. I love you. I love you. I love you.